Alright, hello YouTube. You're looking at the Alesis Nitro electronic kit. Just got in the mail yesterday. It took me about an hour and a half to set up. Process was pretty straightforward. The one thing I will say is the directions aren't necessarily the most detailed. So for instance, there was no diagram of where to actually plug everything in. Each of these cords is labeled, but it's tough to find the input jacks on these. So just make sure you dig around underneath the pads, and you'll see that they're usually somewhere here in the corner of the pads and of the cymbals. So that's really it for the setup process. And I'm running it through right now, this amp here, which isn't the best setup, so the sound quality is not going to be stellar, but it should give you a decent approximation of how the kit sounds. And as you can see, it's pretty compact. I live in a kind of small room here, and it doesn't really take up too much space. So overall, after playing it for about a day, I am fairly pleased with it. It's pretty easy to play. Everything feels natural. The pads have a good rebound. There are a few things that bother me, and one in particular has been the cause of some aggravation, and I'll get to that when the time comes. But yeah, let's just get started here. I'm just going to walk you through each of the pads and parts of the kit. So start here with the bass drum. As you can see, it's a pretty normal looking pedal. Feels pretty good, easy to play. The rebound is realistic. So that's definitely one of the better parts of this kit. Here's your hi-hat. This works pretty well. Gives you that nice closed hi-hat sound. And now let's talk about the pads. So pads sound pretty good rebound. The snare drum I'm also pretty happy with. You have basically there's three tones you can extract from here. So one is the rim, which actually works pretty well. And then there's the quiet snare sound, and then this snap that you get when you strike it harder. As with most electronic kits, at the faster speeds, it's not going to be able to pick up every note that you're playing. But for what this is, for a $300 kit, I mean, it's adequate. So let's talk about my favorite part of the kit, this crash cymbal. So this particular kit is unique in that you can actually choke the crash. So I'm going to give you a quick demonstration of this. It's going to be kind of hard to do with one hand. Let's see if I can do it. Yeah, there you go. So you just grab it right here and it chokes the sound. That works really well. That's a lot of fun doing that. So now I'm going to talk about the slightly weaker parts of the kit. So over here is, you can obviously customize any of these pads, but this is supposed to be the ride cymbal, and the sound is pretty good. The only problem is there's no bell sound. There's just one sound on this pad, and in my experience, most electronic kits usually have maybe two zones here, so one for the bell and then one for just the cymbal itself, but this just has one zone here, so that's a little disappointing, but it's not that big of a deal. Okay, now let's talk about this thing, this hi-hat. So, oh boy, okay, so let me just actually play and just just so I could show you what the problem is. I'm gonna actually try and play it closed, and I just want you to listen to this as I play it. Okay, so as you can hear, when I'm playing the closed hi-hat, the crash is being sounded. And if you look over at this pad, the parts of the kit that are being played will highlight, and now I'm playing it pretty softly right now, and as I pick up the tempo, strike it a little harder, you can see it starts activating the crash. I've looked at reviews on Amazon. Other people seem to have this problem, not necessarily with the hi-hat, but with other parts of the kit being sounded when they strike one part. I know some people have said that sometimes when they strike the toms, the snare activates. I would actually be not too upset about that, but when you're trying to play a quiet, or really a consistent closed hi-hat pattern, you have the crash in the background. That's pretty irritating. Even when you do the open hi-hat, you can see it's still activating the crash. Now, the one solution I've come up with to this is if you just unplug this right here, you can play the hi-hat without any problems. But why the hell would you want to do that? You want to be able to play all the parts of the kit at once. So yeah, so that's a big disappointment for me. I haven't called them yet to complain or see if there's anything that can be done about that, but that I'm finding pretty disappointing right now. And then last thing I'll just say is, as you can see, here's the main console. I haven't really played around with it too much. I know that there's a click here, and you can adjust the drum sounds up here. I think there are backing tracks you could play along with. I actually have not tried any of this out yet, so I'm just gonna press this and see what happens. There we go. I assume you turn the drums off. Okay, well. Sorry, I guess it would have been a good idea for me to prepare for this video, but okay, well, I'll have to figure out how to activate some of those backing tracks, but I think you get the basic idea here. So, yeah, overall, I'd say I'm fairly happy with it. The hi-hat is really irritating me right now. Hopefully I could resolve that, but overall, it's for what it is, it's pretty good. So, cheers.